Join me as I challenge myself to wake up tomorrow and completely transform my morning routine for a brand new me. Let me tell you something right now, and I need you to feel this deep. Life ain't gonna wait for you to get ready. Life ain't gonna stop and tap you on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, you look like you might be thinking about doing something different. Is now a good time?" No. Life moves, life rolls on. Life is like a train that never stops moving, and you either get on board or you get left standing on the platform looking lost. And the crazy part is, some of y'all been standing on that platform for years, waiting, hoping, praying, procrastinating, watching that same train pass by over and over, each time telling yourself, maybe next time. Let me be clear, there might not be a next time. You don't get to pick how many opportunities you get. You don't get to negotiate with time. You don't get to hit rewind and do life over. That's not how this works. You're living on borrowed time as it is. And every single day, you wake up and choose to play small. Every time you let fear make your decisions, every time you hit that snooze button, you're rolling the dice with your destiny. Some of y'all, the first thing you do when you wake up is grab your phone. Not to read a book, not to thank God, not to write down your goals, you scrolling, you checking other people's lives while you ignore your own, you watching folks chase their dreams while you're laying in bed letting yours expire. You're comparing yourself to somebody's highlight reel when you haven't even pressed play on your own story. You sitting in your mess wishing for better, but doing the same thing over and over. Let me ask you this, when does it stop? When do you decide enough is enough? You see, what most folks don't realize is that change starts way before the results show up. The transformation begins when your mindset shifts. When you say to yourself, "I refuse to let this be the best version of me," that's where it begins. It ain't about money. It ain't about connections. It ain't about luck. It's about how bad you want it. Because if you really wanted it, you'd be doing something about it. If it was a priority, you'd treat it like one. But instead, you treat your dream like a side piece. You flirt with it. You visit it once in a while, but you never commit. You never give it the respect it deserves, and then you wonder why it doesn't bless you. You can't plant seeds and then walk away from the field and come back 6 months later mad that nothing grew. You've got to water it. You've got to nurture it. You've got to show up when it's hard, when it's lonely, when it's inconvenient. And don't come at me with, "Well, I tried and it didn't work." Try again. That's how winners are made. That's how champions are built. They don't try once and quit. They fall, they fail, they cry, they bleed. But they get up and go again. You don't think they got tired. You don't think they got discouraged. Of course they did. But they knew what was on the line. They knew they had something to live for, something to prove, something to change. You sitting there waiting for motivation to hit you like lightning. Let me give you a secret. Motivation is unreliable. You can't wait for motivation. Motivation is like the wind, it comes and goes. But discipline. Discipline is the rock. Discipline is what gets you up at 5 a.m. when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what makes you say no to distractions and yes to your calling. Discipline don't care about how you feel. Discipline does what it's supposed to do whether you like it or not. And if you ever want to reach that next level, that breakthrough, that miracle you keep asking for, you better get real close to discipline. You better make it your best friend, and I don't want to hear about your circumstances. I didn't grow up rich. Neither did most successful people. I didn't go to college. A lot of millionaires didn't either. I got kids, good, that's more reason to fight, not less. I got depression. I hear you, I see you, but you can get help and still do the work. You can go to therapy and still grind. You can cry in the car, wipe your tears, and still walk in that building like you own it. Pain don't give you a pass. If anything, it gives you purpose. See, some of y'all been through things that should have destroyed you. Let's keep it real. Some of y'all been through heartbreak, betrayal, loss, sickness, poverty, and yet you're still here. You still breathing, you still got a chance. That ain't nothing but grace. That's not luck. That's purpose still waiting on you to catch up. But you can't receive what's next if you keep holding on to what was. You can't grab the future if your hands are full of the past. You better let that old version of you go. That scared version, that lazy version, that version of you that cared too much about what people think. You got people out here living their lives, chasing dreams, starting businesses, creating freedom for their families. And you're worried about opinions. You're worried about people who ain't got the courage to do what you do. Let them talk, let them laugh, let them doubt, but you keep building, because the same ones who mock you now will be the ones saying, "I knew you could do it," when you make it. And some of y'all need to stop asking people for permission to grow. You waiting for your family to understand you, you waiting for your friends to support you. Listen, they may never get it. They may never cheer for you, and that's okay. That's not their job, it's yours. You've got to be your own biggest fan. You've got to clap for yourself when nobody else will. You've got to move like it's already done, even if the bank account don't match the vision yet. Faith is believing before you see it. Faith is walking like it's already yours. You want to change your life. You've got to change your mornings. You've got to change how you wake up, what you listen to, what you say to yourself. You can't wake up cursing the day and expect to live in blessing. You can't feed your mind junk and expect your life to flourish. Every day you have the chance to feed your future or your fear. You better choose wisely. Some of y'all walk around with potential leaking out of you. Everywhere you go, people see it. Strangers can see it. Teachers, co-workers, even enemies see it. But you, the person who has it, acts like you don't. You downplay your gift. You run from responsibility. You make yourself small to fit in rooms you've outgrown. Stop that. You are not average. You were never meant to blend in. You've got a light, and the world don't need you hiding it, and I get it. It's scary. Doing something new is scary. Becoming someone different is scary. But you know what's scarier? Regret. Looking back over your life and realizing you wasted it. Realizing you let fear win. That's the kind of pain that doesn't go away. That's the pain that sticks with you, the pain that whispers in your ear late at night. You could have done more. Don't let that be your story. You were born for more than bills, more than stress, more than just making it to Friday. There's something in you the world hasn't seen yet. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of sacrifice. But you'll never meet that version until you get tired of this one. Until you stop making excuses and start making progress. Until you stop dreaming and start doing. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, don't hit snooze. Don't roll over and drift back into fantasy. Sit up, put your feet on the ground, and remind yourself, today I fight for me. Today I show up. Today I choose change. Because the truth is, life is going to keep moving, with or without you, but greatness. That only shows up for those who are awake enough to recognize it when it comes knocking. Let me ask you something. If you knew that one decision, just one, could shift everything in your life, would you make it? If you knew that the version of you 5 years from now was sitting up in heaven rooting for you, praying you'd just get up and do something different today, would you listen? Because let me tell you, the life you want is not on pause. It's not sitting on the shelf waiting for you to casually stroll by and pick it up when the mood strikes. The life you want is fighting to get to you, but it can't come into a space where you're still tolerating dysfunction, laziness, fear, and small thinking. The problem with most people isn't lack of talent. It's not lack of opportunity. It's not even bad luck. It's that you've gotten comfortable living beneath your calling. You've decorated the prison. You've hung curtains on a cage and called it home. And the scariest part, you've convinced yourself that maybe this is just how life is supposed to be. Maybe this is your ceiling. Maybe this is your level. Let me break that lie right now. There is nothing natural about staying stuck. There is nothing honorable about playing small. You were made for expansion. You were made to grow, to stretch, to rise. But none of that happens if you keep protecting your comfort zone like it's a blessing when really it's been your biggest curse. Every day you wake up with the same 24 hours as the most successful people in the world. I ain't just talking about celebrities or billionaires. I'm talking about that woman working 3 jobs and still finding time to build her business on the side. I'm talking about that man who turned his pain into purpose and started mentoring young boys in the neighborhood. I'm talking about that single mother raising champions with nothing but faith, grit, and prayer. They got the same 24 hours as you. So don't tell me you don't have time. What you really don't have is urgency. See, you think you got time because you're young. You think you can figure it out later. You think God's gonna wait forever for you to step into what He called you to do. But the truth is, opportunities expire, and the only thing worse than missing a chance is realizing you never prepared yourself to receive it when it came. You praying for things you're not even ready to hold. You asking for doors to open, but you don't even have the character to walk through them without tripping over your own ego, your own distractions, your own bad habits. Let me tell you, your future doesn't just happen. It's built one decision at a time, one discipline at a time, one sacrifice at a time, and you've got to decide. Are you going to keep blaming your past, or are you going to build your future? You can't do both. You can't be a victim and a victor at the same time. You can't walk into power still carrying pain like a trophy. At some point, you have to forgive. Forgive the ones who didn't show up. Forgive yourself for the mistakes. Forgive the process for taking so long. You've got to let go so you can grow. Some of y'all are so full of potential, but you keep surrounding yourself with people who celebrate mediocrity. They don't push you, they pacify you. They clap when you survive, not when you thrive. They scared of the new version of you, so they try to keep you where they're comfortable. But hear me, you can't take everybody with you. Everybody won't understand your growth. Everybody can't handle your elevation, and that's okay. Growth is lonely, but stagnation is deadly. You keep talking about change, but your circle looks the same. You keep talking about purpose, but your habits don't line up. You can't keep running with chickens and expect to soar like an eagle. If the people around you aren't pushing you forward, they're pulling you back. And you know it, you feel it. Every time you get a little momentum, something pulls you back to the familiar, to the easy, to the average. It's not fate, it's your environment. And if you really want to win, you've got to get serious about protecting your space. You've got to guard your mind like a vault and your time like a treasure, because both are running out. You keep asking for miracles, but sometimes the miracle is just you finally getting tired of your own nonsense. You finally saying, I've had enough. Enough settling, enough scrolling, enough waiting, enough excuses, enough pretending, enough pushing your greatness off to the side like it's optional. It ain't optional. It's urgent, it's necessary, it's life or death, because every day you live outside of your purpose, a piece of your soul dies. Every day you settle, you shrink. Every day you avoid the hard work, the inner work, the uncomfortable work. You dig the grave for the future you say you want. And you know what's crazy. Deep down, you know you're capable of more. That voice in your gut won't let you forget. That ache in your spirit every time you see someone else doing what you were born to do. It's not envy. That's your calling tapping you on the shoulder, asking, when will you stop watching and start walking? That's your destiny saying, let's go, but you keep quieting it, you keep ignoring it. You keep sedating it with distractions, food, entertainment, relationships, anything to keep from facing the truth. But the truth doesn't go away just because you hide from it. You know what's harder than starting. Staying the same. You know what's more painful than failure, regret. You know what's scarier than risk. Wasting your life doing something that never mattered. You better stop playing. You better stop acting like average is the goal. There's a version of you, bold, blessed, brilliant, just waiting for permission to show up. But that version don't respond to comfort. That version don't respond to fear. That version shows up when you do the hard thing, consistently, even when no one's watching. You got dreams, but dreams without a plan are just fantasies. You got goals, but goals without action are just decorations on your vision board. You say you want to change, but your calendar says otherwise. Your routine says otherwise. You want the blessing, but you're not ready for the burden that comes with it. You want success, but success don't hang out with the undisciplined. It don't hang out with the uncommitted. It don't hang out with people who can't tell themselves no. At some point, you've got to look in the mirror and be real with yourself. Ask the hard questions. Who am I becoming? Is this who I want to be? Are the things I do every day moving me closer to my purpose or further away from it? Am I honoring the gift God gave me, or am I burying it under doubt and distraction? That mirror won't lie to you. And if you stare into it long enough with honesty, it'll show you the areas where change is screaming your name. You waiting on the perfect time, it doesn't exist. You waiting to feel ready, you won't. You waiting for things to calm down, they won't. The only thing that will change your life is you deciding that today is the day, not tomorrow, not next Monday, not after the breakup, not after the job comes through. Now, right now, because if you can take one bold step today, the rest of your life can look completely different. You're not too old, you're not too late, you're not too broken, you're not too messed up. You're just too afraid of letting go of what's familiar. But let me tell you something, the familiar ain't your future, you've outgrown it. You've outgrown the old narrative, the old trauma, the old patterns. It's time to step out of the cocoon and fly, baby. You weren't built to crawl forever, and I'm telling you, once you really commit, once you decide that playing small is no longer an option, everything starts to shift. You'll see doors open that were always there, but you were too distracted to notice. You'll meet people who align with your purpose. You'll find strength you didn't even know you had, but it all starts with that first step. That decision, that no matter what attitude, that fire that says, I'm not going back, I'm not settling, I'm not sleeping on myself anymore, because this is it. This is your moment, not yesterday. Not next year. Now, right now, wake up. It's time to change your life. You've heard enough. Now it's time to decide. You either stay where you are, or you rise into who you were always meant to be. Nobody's coming to do it for you. Not your mama, not your friends, not your boss, not even God. Because he already gave you everything you need. Now it's on you. So get up. Stand tall. Look life in the eye and say, I'm done waiting, I'm done wishing, I'm done wasting time. Today I change, today I show up for my future, today I bet on me. Because when you finally wake up and walk in your purpose, the world doesn't just notice, you become unstoppable. Now go be who you were born to be.